Now, most of you already know that yesterday NEO gave us their Q1 earnings, which were not that good. I mean, on those earnings, we saw NEO, of course, failing to beat analyst expectations on the revenues they generated, failing to, of course, beat the kind of gross margins they saw in Q1, and also or only just managing to beat, of course, the earnings per share, which obviously they announced an earnings per share which was much better than what was expected from analysts, which obviously, to sum it all up, those earnings were not good, and so many of the investors were expecting, of course, NEO to plummet sharply yesterday due to those earnings, which is something that we did not see, because when the market opened yesterday, NEO even went up 10%, but obviously when the market closed, it ended it to where, or the kind of share price it was at on Thursday when the market closed. Now that, of course, was not that good, but I was quite relieved to see, of course, the stock price or share price of NEO not being hammered by the Q1 earnings. And I think the reason why they did not get hammered that much was, of course, the other conversations that were, of course, discussed by NEO during the earnings calls. I mean, the deliveries expectations for the second half, or from the second half of this year, I mean, it was just mind-blowing, which is what we want to talk about on this video today. Because, ladies and gents, after the or during that earnings calls, yes, I know that, of course, the earnings were not that good, but these content, or these, of course, the news that NEO, of course, was, of course, highlighting during the earnings calls, these are some of the important news that, as a new investor, you need to obviously know this, because they will be the one to make you to remain strong and long onto the NEO stock. But before we get to the news, you already know that this video is just an entertainment video and not a professional financial advice video. Now, I really appreciate if you can just hit the like button if you are enjoying the content that I'm giving you about NEO, as to what is it that they discuss which is of importance, and that is the kind of deliveries that they expect to deliver in the second half of this year. I mean, so if you're enjoying this video, I really appreciate if you can just hit the like button and subscribe, that if you have not subscribed, and once you subscribe, don't forget to hit or click that notification bell so that at least you get notified by YouTube. So yes, during the earnings calls, so some of the things, or some of the most important things that NEO, of course, highlighted for the second half, or starting from July, was obviously they are planning to produce 10,000 ES6 vehicle, or 10,000 ES6 model, and deliver the very same 10,000 in the month of July. And for the other models, ladies and gents, they indicated that they are targeting 20,000 on a month to month for the other models, which is something that must just show you that on a month, or starting from July, we might easily see NEO delivering over 20,000 vehicles. That is for sure. That is a showcase. In fact, based on what they said, it looks like they are targeting, their target is 30,000 vehicles per month, which if they can get to that, then it will be lights out for this stock. This is something that will really excite investors like us. This is something that, of course, those that own the NEO stock will be excited, because we've been longing for some time to get to see, or to at least see NEO start to deliver over 20,000 vehicles, and getting to see that NEO is targeting the month of July as that month which they will start reporting these kind of deliveries. It is something that should definitely make you excited as the new investor, because guess what that is going to do? Is going to, of course, make the kind of revenues to be better, the kind of revenues that NEO generates to increase, which is something that obviously it will be a good thing, because that will help them achieve also maybe the profitability status that which they're targeting somewhere in 2024. So I was very excited when I saw that. I mean, NEO, ladies and gents. So another thing that obviously they said, which is of a concern, or which was even a concern during yesterday's earnings call, it was their gross margin, which came at 1.5%, which was worse than the kind of gross margins they reported in Q1 of 3.9%, which obviously still they were bad when comparing to the Q4. So, but the good thing which they said again during the earnings call is that they are looking at obviously going back to double digits by the third quarter of this year in terms of gross margins. They're expecting their gross margin to recover to double digits in, of course, Q3, and to around or over 15% in Q4, which is something that obviously excites me as a new investor, because we know that the gross margins as they stand right now, they are not looking good at all. on NIO, which is to get to see that NIO's management or NIO executives to say that they see a double digit of gross margins coming in the third quarter and getting to 15% in the Q4. It is something that obviously it is a good thing for NIO. So yes, I just thought I'd just give you this quick updates. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the likes button, comment and subscribe. And also subscribe, don't forget to hit or click that notification bell so that at least you get notified by YouTube. So otherwise, you know that the ES6 is one of the models that is expected to do very well, which is why we are seeing NIO, of course, saying that for the month of July, they are not only targeting to produce 10,000 vehicles of the ES6, but they are also planning to also sell or deliver 10,000 of this model, which is something that is incredible. But one thing that also they also noted is that the ET5 its deliveries are being impacted, and the impact on this model is due to, of course, subsidies that have been, of course, put to end in China, which are the ones that they did say that they are having a huge impact onto the ET5. So ET5, it is also that model that NIO planned to deliver at least before the end of year last year, to deliver over at least 10,000 vehicles, which already we know that I think the best kind of sales they produce on a month for the ET5, I think it was just over somewhere between 7 and 8,000, to which they did not get to that 10,000, meaning that even worst case scenario, we can sort of like expect them to deliver at least around 7,000-8,000 for the ES6. Though the ES6, I'm really hopeful that obviously they are going to do well, because they said, though they did not disclose the amount of orders they received from the ES6, they said that the orders that are on this model alone met their expectations, which is something that obviously is good news, because it means that people continue to order this car, and the NIO has got a good figure when it comes to the orders of the NIO ES6. So I'm very excited about that, and I hope that this is the model that will seriously, of course, revive NIO stock, or the NIO stock. Otherwise, like I said, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey, and God bless you all.